The second radio station in my career was CKAR, or as we knew it, CKAR. It was completely staffed by my Ryerson schoolmates. The station was only in its second year of operation when I left Aurelia and CFOR and drove up the highway to Huntsville. The name CKAR was chosen by the owner, G.N. McKenzie, to fit his idea of operating a fleet of Ford station wagons up and down Highway 11 and other highways, offering assistance to tourists and other visitors. CKAR would stand for Courtesy Car. I drove a girlfriend up to the station one afternoon, but when we were just a short distance past Gravenhurst, I ran out of gas. Fortunately, announcer Garth Thomas in a courtesy car spotted me at the side of the road and offered to help. Well, after a short reunion, he then led us to the station. I was impressed with the fresh new layout of this radio station, and of course, knowing each of the staff was a bonus, and I made plans to get hired on there. About a year later, I did. Lou Leslie I knew as Lou Gwartz. He was a bear of a guy, about 6'3", and the most affable person I ever met. He was a newsman, but he was also comfortable doing music shows. Garth Thomas was a comedian who made up half a team of Thief and Shots and created a comedy show for CKEY while they were still studying at Ryerson. When I got to CKAR, Garth was taking part of a station promotion that involved the Huntsville police chief jailing Garth for a supposed theft of radio station prizes. For the next few weeks, Garth was behind bars, occasionally making appearances on CKAR, singing prison songs and bemoaning his fate. Of course, it was all fake, and eventually he was exonerated and let out. Karen Hazard was the station's copywriter. Her real forte would come years later when she became a much-admired film casting director in Toronto. Jim Bishop was a sports director who was also the local arena manager. He was a good guy to know because it gave us access to any event being held in that venue. Jim Gibson was the station manager. He held a party at his house one day, and the minute I walked in the front door, his wife stopped me and said, "Hey, I know you. You're the kid from the corner store." An example of a small world, ain't it? She was right. She lived only 2 blocks away from my parents' corner store on Danforth Avenue in Toronto. That was before corner stores became mom and pops and later became convenience stores. CKAR is where I got my first experience with airborne traffic reporting. Every Friday, I drive a courtesy car to Muskoka Airways and load myself and a heavy portable tape machine and a even heavier transformer into the back of a Cessna pontoon airplane and get flown down Highway 11 to Barrie and back again. I would get a good reading on the traffic conditions and record it on a small reel-to-reel tape. Then we would land at the hangar at Muskoka Airways again, and I would rush the tape to the station. The next step was to fly north, almost to Algonquin Park, and west toward Parry Sound, and repeat the process. It was all so uneventful until one day my pilot had a problem. As we were coming into land, the engine cut off, and I noticed we were much too high for the pilot to do that and land safely. Tapping him on the shoulder, I asked him what happened. He mumbled and began turning the engine over until it finally started again. Thinking he would make a circle and come in to land properly, I was shocked to see he had no such intention. He was coming straight in. I then noticed the people on the dock running through the hangar and out the back parking lot. Oh, I thought. And sure enough, the pilot smacked down hard on the water, bounced twice, and hit the dock head-on. Fortunately, no damage to the plane or the pontoons, but my pilot had disappeared. A short time later, he emerged from the hangar office and ushered me aside and cautioned me to say nothing about his diabetic problem. Well, from then on, when I flew with him, I always made sure I had packets or lumps of sugar or lifesavers in my pocket, just in case.